January 6, 2026. Ukraine turns Russian ATV assault into scrap metal. Subscribe to Defense Reports, your go-to source for timely, in-depth military and defense reports. I'm Alex. Join me with Arya in the latest deep dive by Defense Report for a sharp, no-nonsense breakdown of the latest in global defense news, military technology, and strategic developments.
And today we are zeroing in on a development that, on the surface, seems almost absurd.
It really does. We're talking about the wholesale replacement of thousands of heavy, protected Russian armored vehicles. You know, the tanks, the IFVs, with light, unarmored buggies.
That's the critical pivot, this rapid adoption of high-speed unarmored vehicles.
Specifically the Chinese Desertcross 1003 ATV, or what everyone is now calling the combat golf cart.
And this isn't some minor logistical change, it's a tactical shift that really signals Russia's profound and, I'd say, systemic equipment crisis.
A crisis born of attrition, right?
Absolutely. Russia is struggling to restore its mechanized maneuver capability. That's the ability to launch protected, large-scale combined arms operations.
So their solution is, what, speed over protection?
Exactly. Prioritize speed and mass over crew protection, which forces them into tactics that are really optimized for, well, positional, attritional warfare.
And the cost of this tactical desperation is immediately clear. We're diving deep into the massive failure of a recent mechanized assault near Dobropilya,
where Ukrainian forces just completely decimated the attacking columns.
So our mission today is to understand how this desperation played out and why the Ukrainian defense proved so devastatingly effective.
And get this. The one shocking fact that really validates this whole deep dive is the final tally from that battle.
Go on.
In the crucial final wave of the assault, Ukrainian defenders destroyed 10 out of the 11 Desertcross ATVs involved.
10 out of 11.
That's a 91% kill rate against these light units in just under 2 hours. That kind of figure, well, it doesn't happen by accident. It shows a system breaking down under pressure.
Okay, so let's unpack the vehicle itself, the new Russian workhorse.
The Desertcross 1003. It's an all-terrain vehicle, or UTV, made by China's Shandong Odes industry.
AODES, yeah. And the irony here is just incredible.
It is. This is not military-grade hardware by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it's marketed globally as a tourist or, like, an entertainment vehicle.
It's a civilian buggy, basically.
Yeah.
Adapted hastily for one of the most brutal battlefields in modern history.
And yet, Russia is deeply committed to this. The scale of the procurement is huge.
It is. Sources say they were first spotted in late 2023. By that fall, over 500 units were delivered.
And by December 2024, it was over 2,000 units in active service.
With clear intentions to buy thousands more. So this is not an experiment. This is their new standard.
So what are we talking about technically? What is this thing?
It's sort of a middle ground between a true ATV and a small car. It's built on a lightweight, two-axle, all-wheel drive chassis.
The Russian version weighs just over 1,000 kilograms.
Right. And it's designed to carry a small fire team, so 3 passengers plus some cargo.
And its main job is just rapid transport and logistics.
That's it. It has a payload capacity of 550 kilograms, so it can carry ammo,
and a range of about 250 kilometers.
And what's interesting about the modifications is what they didn't include.
Right. They gave the soldiers a soft closed cabin and a heater.
Which is nice, I suppose. But crucially, no armor. They added comfort without adding any real protection.
Which tells you everything about their priorities. Keep it cheap, keep it fast, and forget survivability.
And that lack of protection brings us to this real
the civilian budget. Now put that against Russia's own domestic options.
like the UAZ Hunter, that's around $12,000, $13,000, or the Niva SUV for even less.
So why spend nearly double the money on a foreign civilian unarmored vehicle?
Either massive corruption markups,
A prime opportunity for certain people to get rich.
or, and this is maybe more telling strategically, it signals a deep failure or just distrust in Russia's own manufacturing capacity.
So they can't rely on the Ulyanovsk automobile plant or ATVs to deliver what they need quickly enough.
It seems that way. Russia's systemic losses of classic armored vehicles since 2022 were so staggering that they are now forced to bypass their own supply chain.
Just to fill the immediate logistical and tactical gaps, they need high
But the primary killer on this battlefield,
FPV drones and UAV payload drones. And it effectively turns the drone into a very precise, very low-cost smart bomb.
and a UAV payload drop is just what it sounds like. A drone dropping a small munition, often a repurposed grenade, from above.
And these threats are just optimized for unarmored targets.
Absolutely. A fragmentation warhead that might just scratch the paint on a tank is completely catastrophic against a thin sheet of metal or a fiberglass body.
And FPVs can attack from high angles, strike weak points. They're incredibly effective.
The Russians know this, of course, which is why we've seen all these ad hoc field modifications. Signals.
But the consensus, even from Russian military bloggers, is that these measures just don't really work.
They're largely ineffective. The sheer vulnerability of the design is the ultimate weakness. The cope cages are rudimentary. They don't protect against the blast fragmentation.
And the EW systems are often low-power units that are just overwhelmed by the sheer number of Ukrainian drones.
And even if the vehicle somehow survives a direct FPV hit, its fragility means hitting any landmine is guaranteed destruction.
For the buggy and for the soldiers inside. These things get them to the fight quickly, but they offer zero protection when they get there.
Which brings us to the centerpiece of this deep dive, the Dobropilya debacle.
Yes. This failure perfectly illustrates how coordinated Ukrainian defense is systematically defeating this new Russian tactic.
So this happened on December 22nd, 2025, near Dobropilya, close to the strategic hub of Pokrovsk.
And this wasn't a small probe. This was a significant push involving elements of the Russian Pacific Fleet.
The 40th and 155th Marine Brigades. It was a serious, reduced battalion-sized attempt to get a breakthrough.
And the Russian column was complex. It was moving in 4 separate waves.
Right. It included 24 traditional armored vehicles, tanks, IFVs, APCs, and then dozens of these new Desertcross ATVs and motorcycles.
So the idea was to use the heavy armor to breach the line?
And then use the speed of the buggies to rush troops through that breach before Ukrainian artillery could react.
But the Ukrainian response was, well, it was rapid, layered, and highly integrated.
Largely thanks to their unmanned systems forces working seamlessly with artillery units, like the 1st Azov Corps.
The entire assault was stopped in just 100 minutes.
That's right. The first phase was all about neutralizing the heavy armor. Ukrainian recon drones spotted the column almost immediately.
And they just vectored in heavy assets cannon, rocket artillery, even HIMARS onto that armored spearhead.
Which killed the maneuver element right there. And as the column stalled, the unmanned systems forces went to work on the light vehicles.
This is key. They used remote mining deployed by drones to isolate and slow down the ATVs.
Trapping them in choke points. And once those buggies were trapped, with no armor...
They became sitting ducks.
Exactly. The second wave of drones, the FPVs, move in for the final strikes. And the result was just a definitive knockout blow.
And the tally is just astonishing. Ukrainian forces destroyed 6 tanks, 9 IFVs, 5 APCs, and a recovery vehicle.
Which is devastating in itself.
But the truly shocking figure, the one we mentioned at the start, is the destruction rate of the light transport.
Out of 11 Desertcross ATVs used in that final assault wave, 10 were vaporized.
10 out of 11. It basically makes the combat golf cart the single most vulnerable vehicle on the modern battlefield.
And this overwhelming tactical failure confirms what the Institute for the Study of War has been saying for a while now.
That Russia is fundamentally unable to reestablish true mechanized maneuver warfare.
The battlefield environment, dominated by precision fires and disposable drones, has made both slow, protected columns and fast, unprotected columns incredibly costly.
And you can see this is now their official strategy.
focusing on defensive EW for trenches, not mobile armor.
And you can see it in the metrics of advance. Russia has managed to slightly increase its daily rate of advance in 2025.
But the gains are still constrained to what sources are calling a slow foot pace.
So the Desertcross isn't enabling breakthroughs, it's just a faster way to shuttle soldiers into the kill zone.
Without any protection. And the casualty rate just reflects that desperation.
They're sustaining an average